it is not acceptable for someone akiwa na kasoro kwa kiongozi wetu. That was used as that my disability was weaponized. So I felt the same thing I felt all through. Someone denying me education because he thinks I belong to the crowd. Someone denying me a wife because they think I can have children and I cannot be a human being like anybody else. And now even the service to serve God.
Some of the challenges you've had to endure during your servanthood and leadership, because I know you are a leader not only here in Parliament, but it's something you started way down there. Some of the greatest challenges you've endured and some of the memories you have, and you can sit back and say, surely this only God did.
One of the greatest challenges, and that is cut across in not only being a leader, but also living a normal life to anyone with physical challenge, is that you work twice as much for anyone else, like to be like anyone else.
To be accepted.
Yeah, to be accepted. Number one, you have to work very hard to explain yourself why you want to live like others and not be satisfied the way you are. Mm-hmm. Liz, I had to struggle with this. Because when I wrote my examination on in Standard 7 and passed very well, and I had 26, 27 years that time, the society, including my own family, relatives, they said, you don't need to go up to secondary school. I mean, Jackson, what are you looking up there? You are old enough. Can you be a gobbler and do some stuff which is next to you? I remember when I argued with one of them, I told them, no, the difference between you is the way we look at life. You have been up there for a long time and you are looking at life downward. Myself, I've been here too long, so I'm looking up. So
that is the whole difference.
That's the whole difference, and I had to overcome that. I went to secondary school. Mm-hmm. The second thing is when I wanted to be married, and people were asking a question, including my relatives. You're getting married. How will you manage life? How will you educate your children? You will become a bother to all of us, you know. You will be making us contribute
towards
you and so on. And so I had to explain everything. And I will surprise you that even in the church, when God raised me and my life, I would use the language of the church. They said, you would feel the anointing upon my life and you would witness the real calling that I am a church minister. And you would discover talent and you would discover giftings. I was very effective. When I decided to refill to the leadership of the church, apart from them giving me opportunities, because I was ordained as a lay minister, I joined the church ministry in 1974. Mm-hmm. And 2 years later, I was ordained as a lay minister.
Yes.
And under a leader of the church, and I was so effective. I became one of the pronounced evangelists in my area, and we really grew up. Now, when I was to be ordained now into a full-fledged church minister, and after going to theological seminary and coming back, they asked me a question. How do you want to serve the church? Do you want to serve the church full-time or part-time? Mm-hmm. You know, that question sounds a good question. Mm-hmm. But it's a question with an attitude.
Yes.
Because they are asking me whether in my condition, can I appreciate that is it easy for you to serve the church full-time?
Which is discriminatory, actually.
Absolutely, and so I said, because I understood what they meant. I said, yeah, I would like you to judge for yourself. If I have gift, if I have the anointing, and if I have the right doctrine, I would want to serve God full time. But if I'm lacking in any of the three, because I love God and I love the church, I will serve part-time and then I will do something else. Mm-hmm. It is when I saw the chair of the panel shed tears, because they know me. They said, if God has accepted you, who are we? So I had to struggle with that, Liz. Mm-hmm. And it never deterred me, because there is a constant pressure in me that I want to be useful. No one can stop me from that. And evidently, really, I now I've retired, so I have the guts of saying it, that you could not ignore me, really. You could not ignore me.
Yes.
And I was one of the among the effective ministers in my age and generation.
You became so vocal.
Oh my, I tell you. And in all fields.
Yes.
And I became a very influential person. Notwithstanding, soon you stay with me for about few minutes and you forget I don't have legs, and you almost tell me to run with you.
That's a beautiful thing.
So the final one, which I experienced, is when after my retirement, I said I want to be useful to my country, and I cannot be useful unless I be in a position of influence. So I contested for senatorial position. If you hear me, most of the time people are referring to me as senator.
Yes.
It's because I was a very serious candidate.
I remember when I first heard you.
Yeah.
You were vocal on matters leadership.
Lovely.
Did this not put you at loggerheads with the government?
Yes,
Have you faced threats?
Yes. I spoke what in my time as a church minister, I spoke truth to power.
I remember.
Which I still do. Mm-hmm. But in our time, we never demean leadership. We never demean the president, even at very worst time, because our elders then, Henry Okulu, I was an Anglican.
Yes.
My foundation is an Anglican. During the years of Manasseh Kuria, David Kitare, my friend, the late Alexander Muge, I went to celebrate last week, 35 years after his demise. Mm-hmm. He was a chairman of our, what they call KAYO, Kenya Anglican Youth Organization. So we were part of in the part of the world where I came from, they considered us as radical minds. But we have always criticized government very respectively. We never forget that we are pastors, and our pastoral duty goes beyond our differences of opinion. Mm-hmm. But because I was very focal, as you say, and I'm surprised that you listened to me.
Yes,
when I look at your age, I said, did you hear me really in my
heyday? I got at least to hear it when I got in the media. I got to.
You could see it, yeah.
Yes.
But, so that is it. Now, the major challenge, because I'm going back to the challenge you talked about, and it is very important for everyone who really would listen to this story, is that when I contested as
Senator.
For Senate, and it was becoming evident that I was winning, because the first thing when I declared, I took the ticket of my party then overwhelmingly. I think about 70%. I had a real good winning. Now I was contesting against, at that time, Gideon Moy had not declared because it was 2013. So I even called him. We had a cup of tea with him. And I said, the son of my sister, because the wife, the mother comes from our family. I said to him, would you be contesting for what seat in Baringo now that we have a new constitution? He was not decided, and then I decided myself, and I stood for Senate. Now, 2-3 weeks to election, 4 weeks to election, and it was evident I was ahead after he contested. Now, the same challenge that I had all through came now to the fore. And they said in our tradition, cultures,
and everything,
it is not acceptable for someone akiwa na kasoro kwa kiongozi wetu. That was used as that my disability was weaponized against me.
People who you knew?
People whom I knew and people who matter.
They had the audacity of telling you that
yes,
mtu akiwa na kasoro cannot.
Yes, in fact, may God rest his soul. One senior elders, let me not mention the name, somebody whom I thought would have been my protector, he declared, we cannot allow him to defeat Gideon.
How did it feel?
Yeah?
How did it feel?
To me? Yeah, you know, because I've been fighting to survive, it felt another challenge. And I felt I will fight it. And so I felt the same thing I felt all through. Someone denying me education because he thinks I belong to the crowd. Someone denying me a wife because they think I can have children and I cannot be a human being like anybody else. And now even the service to serve God, someone says, he reads to me the book of Leviticus, which was declared about the priests of Israel, that no one limping should enter into the Holy of Holies.
Including the word of God to justify that.
Yes. And the justification was not about discriminating against me. It was the ability of coming out from the altar, because no one would come and take you out. Anybody stepping there would die. Suppose you collapse there. So they said, according to the traditions of the Jews, that let's have someone who is capable of walking in, and should God rebuke him, he can walk out. Because no one can save you from there, because it is the Holy of the Holies. I don't think God is discriminative that was a
That was
culture.
just justifying the situation.
But this was used to justify the situation. And you imagine, even the church wrote a letter when there was some conflict in the church, and I was the Secretary General. And when I made a decision, you know, it's like in politics, if they want to pull you down, they begin to tell you, after all, this is not your mother. After all, this is not your father. They begin to reveal who your father is. You remember those small things they reveal in order to rebuke you? That is what they used. And they said, you know, after all, we had an oversight when we recommended you. Now that's the charge. When we recommended you to be a pastor, it was wrong for us in the first place to ordain you. And they wrote a letter as to ask God to forgive them for laying their hands on someone who is physically challenged. You can imagine. Now all that came.
Someone
and even,
in church and people in church who was
in high
supposed
position. And in fact, he wrote a letter to the headquarters. And I, as a Secretary General, so the bishop was given the letter. The bishop took the letter and he brought it to my office. And he said, Bishop, this letter comes from your place. I am a Christian. I have witnessed the power of God upon your life. I will not be party to this sin. I'm giving you the letter. It will never remain in the files of our church. But I'm giving it to you. What you will do with it, it's up to you. So he brought it to me, and then I said, I'm going to put it in the file, so that in one of my books, I will show how fatalism can be found in the church. And so back to the politics. Now, that is what was used, and the elders were called, because we were now contesting with the son of the former president, and they said, we must persuade everybody because this man has gone too deep. But anyway, finally elders came to see me. They said, now let us allow this gentleman to win election because the father is aging, he's on his retirement. Bishop, you are still young. So they are trying to use words to pembereza me, to scale down. I was promised that if you need money, we can give it to you. You can ask Mzee to give you what you have used and so on. Now, those are politics, but let me tell you, this is a challenge. And anyway, I told them finally, I will not withdraw from the race. I know you are going to use every means possible, and you will take the seat. Let it be known that I lost the election, but I did not quit. Yeah, I choose to lose election. I don't mind how I lost it, but I want to lose. I better lose it.
Do you believe you lost it?
No, I didn't. I was not to lose it, but I lost it because whether circumstances conspired, losing is losing. Because if you are not number one, you are always number two or number three. You cannot claim that you didn't lose it.
Are you still friends with Gideon Moi?
We are. Those are politics. I can't do that. I can't take offense. This is politics. And politics, it means I didn't know every tactics that they had. It means I was innocent. It means I didn't tear enough. Now, if I go now for politics, this time round,
at least you know what you're facing.
Yeah, they must be prepared. Yeah, if I go now.
Now that you've spoken of going there, are you planning to vie for the same seat?
Sure. I'm vying for the Senate 2027.
And you believe you're going to be that person who is going to take that seat?
Every politician believes. Why not? Yeah. Every politician.
I really wish you all the best. So,
and you will come and campaign for me.
I'll come and air it because I'm not allowed to campaign.
Who knows what you will be at that time? Maybe you will be a women rep in Machakos.
Maybe, God knows.
Or you see, or an MP, or you have that potential, and you have had interest in that.
Amen.
So let me tell you that now that is the first job a disabled has to do, to justify why he should do and work and do what others are doing. So number two, you now do what you're supposed to do. Yes.
What are the greatest lessons you've learned out of all these challenges?
I discovered that, of course, as a Christian and also a believer in God, and also as a human being, that the spirit of time is a rewarder.
Spirit of time.
Yeah, the spirit of time rewards you. Maintain your constant in life. Maintain the interest that you have about life. What you want to be. No, don't give up. No one will remind you. Nobody will help you with that, because you can be protected by law and by association and by tradition and by arrangement from everything else. But no one will save you from yourself.
Maintain your constant, and the spirit of time
will
reward you. That is a great lesson I would like to walk with each and every day, and I believe so to my viewer. You came to, now you're a nominated member of parliament. How did this happen?
I said I became active in politics, and when I lost my opportunity to, just before we came for this election of 2013, it was time for when President Moi retired. And from that part of the world where I come from, we have been in government since independence. And we have had Moi as the leader of our community from 1955, I think, for a period of about 50 years. We don't know another leader. There were MPs, but they were like assistants of him.
He was the kingpin.
He was the kingpin, so he became the president. Now, when we were, when Moi was retiring in 2007, now I'm among the senior clergymen and the rest, we knew the society, the community of Kalenjin would fall into mass depression. Because the election of 2002 was like a revolution. And those who were running that election, they were saying they are bringing second liberation to Kenya, and the country is being liberated the second time. So the question is, from who? Because the first one was from the colonial powers. So the second liberation was liberating Kenya from who? They described it as a misrule and violation of our constitution by mutilating it over 37 times under Kenyatta, Mzee, and under Moi. And because Kenyatta had the privilege of the founding father, so he could not bear much responsibility more than Moi now, who really came to implement the thoughts of Kenyatta in his principle of Watanyayo. You know, Kenyatta died before he handed over title deeds for community from Central Province, for example, who had been settled outside, and other communities. So they were living in honor land left by the white settlers, but they had not been given titles and ownership. So Moi had to come and do it. So he's the one who gave out the titles. Very few had taken that time. Now, when this change of power came, it targeted on Moi. And you know, politics cannot really, it's not kind when it is targeting on the leader. They will always identify the people who have been working with him. And the close community which was there was the Kalenjin. So during that time, the community of Kalenjin felt that they have been unfairly targeted on. So we came as shepherds to comfort the community, call them and mobilize them and counsel them and told them, you are not going anywhere. This is your country. Politics is politics. It is passing away. And then people were sacked, and there was a lot of anger. Then came the election of 2007. The entire Kalenjin had joined opposition, and they lost the election. Actually, it was about losing hope, and so we came in to build, and I was instrumental in that. I became prominent in guiding the community, and so, and through that process, our current president and other leaders, you know, came up, and we, the spiritual leaders, the elders of the community, made sure that we are getting a successor, because Moi did not leave one. We were also trying to gravitate the community to be united, and then we wanted to encourage them in terms of progress. And because of all this put together, so I was at the front everywhere. When we had the post-election violence, it affected us and our brothers from the mountain. Mostly the conflict became a bit vicious because we've been in power together. So we knew each other, and the fight was not good. I was instrumental again in bringing peace along with other bishops, and we walked out, and we thank God for, until we decided that we want the two communities to vote on one side, and we did, and by God's grace that happened, and then on and on. So somehow, when I lost election, President Uhuru then and William, who is our current president, they rewarded me for that effort. That even if I lost the election, they gave me to be the chairman of one of the corporations in this country, and they renewed my term. And I'm very thankful to President Uhuru and Ruto, who is our current president. but himself, they still felt that
they haven't rewarded you enough.
They have not rewarded me enough. Really, they recognize the efforts I put. So 2017, I was to be nominated as a nominated member of parliament into East Africa. So other dynamics came again, and I lost the opportunity. And I think our president was not happy about it. So when we came for the election of 2022,
he kept his promise.
He told his people, I feel I want to reward
Bishop,
this gentleman. And from his own stand, he rewarded me, and he gave me, I'm forever thankful, and I think that's something I've been given with a concurrence of the society. And everybody in Kalenjin, everybody felt that really I deserved it. And they really were thankful and grateful, and I'm grateful forever.
Na ndio hivyo umepata kusikia story na historia yake mbunge Jackson Kosgei. Kila siku ni safari, lakini kupitia kujituma, ari, motisha, unafika uendako. Siku nyingine ndani ya Mfahamu Kiongozi nitakupa story na historia ya kiongozi mwingine, usikose.